Hello and welcome back to One Way Designs 238. Let's jump right into today's project. I'm starting off with this placemat that I picked up from the Dollar Tree because I love those sayings together, love and family. So what I want to do is go ahead and remove these three sayings, and to do so I'm going to use a straight edge ruler as well as my utility knife. Now if you want to use scissors, you can feel free to do so, but I find that when I use a utility knife that I get a much more precise precision cut with these. Now the word together is off to the corner, so it has a rounded edge and I don't like that. So I'm just simply using, again, my utility knife as well as my straight edge ruler, and I'm going to give that a nice crisp, sharp, squared off corner. You guys please bear with me. My voice is going in and out on me. It's been I've been struggling since Sunday, so please bear with me. So now that all three of these pieces have been cut out, now I want to give them some stability and some life. So to do so, I'm going to attach them to this foam core board that I got from Hobby Lobby. Now, if you can use the Dollar Tree, that's perfectly fine, but I like the Hobby Lobby foam core a little bit more better for this project because it's more sturdy. Now, you could trace out these pieces on your foam core board and then cut it out and then attach it, but to me, I feel like that's a bit much. So to do so, to attach these, what I wanted to do, or what I like to do, is take my hot glue, just a little bit of hot glue. I place it on the back of my sayings, then I place it onto my foam core board as you see me doing. I take my silicone spatula or tool and I spread that glue out. That way it does not give it time to melt through our words or our sayings. And after I have done that, then I can take my utility knife and my ruler and I can cut this out. Now with these placemats, I absolutely love how they have those other like squares and rectangles that are attached to those words like the family, together, and love. So again, here I am just simply cutting out these pieces that have been attached to my foam core board with my utility knife and my straight edge ruler. Now that I have all of these pieces cut out, they're mounted to my foam core board. Now, of course, I want to make these have a little bit of dimension because we're making a nice neutral fall sign. So what I want to do is bring in some of these tumbling tower game pieces from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to go ahead and attach these standing up on their side to the back of these pieces. Now I have this piece of wood that I purchased maybe 2 years ago for a project, and I'm just going to simply go ahead and use some of my antiquing wax just to bring out this grain of wood, to darken it up and to give it a little bit more life. Now if you don't have a piece of wood like this on hand, you can always use some of those Dollar Tree MDF board signs and attach them together to give you a bigger piece of work space. So now that I have taken that piece of wood, I have put the antiquing wax on it, I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side to dry. I have this thankful word, this cutout word that I found at the Dollar Tree. I have gone ahead and given it 2 coats of my new favorite paint by Waverly, which is called Nimbus. And then now I'm going to go ahead and take a white matte acrylic paint, and that's by Apple Barrel. I'm to go and dry brush just a little bit, just to help wake this up and to give it a little bit more texture. And when I'm dry brushing, I always tell you guys, for me personally, I like to focus on the edges because I feel like that gives it a natural border and it wakes it up a bit. So now our board is dry, and I love how the antiquing wax brought out the wood grain and the texture in this wood. So again, to wake this up a little bit more, I'm going to take that same matte white paint, and I'm going to go ahead and just simply dry brush around the edges. And again, focusing on that edge because that is really going to give us like a natural border, so to speak. Now, when I'm dry brushing, sometimes I can get a bit heavy handed, but if you do get a bit heavy handed, just go back and take some of it off. It's very doable. Now the edges have been done. I just simply went across the middle of this in longer strokes. And you see, again, that brought more texture and it wakes the project up. Now to begin to assemble this project, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing in all of the elements, the thankful sign, as well as my 3 sayings. And I'm going to go ahead and try to see the placement, where I want them, how I want them to sit. When it comes down to this portion, it's completely up to you. When I began to put these pieces on, I felt like it was a little bit busy because I still wanted to add some of those beautiful neutral florals that I found from the Dollar Tree. So now that I have my placement so far, I'm going to go ahead and take my thankful first, place this in the middle, and I'm using a combination of hot glue as well as Fix-All adhesive. And of course, you see I'm playing around with the placement just to make sure that it's where I want it to be. So now I have placed everything on my board, and again, I've used that same combination of hot glue as well as Fix-All adhesive. So now I have this really beautiful bush of neutral florals that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just placing this in the top corner, just to my liking. Now this portion, feel free to use whatever you would like. You can use a bow, and I am going to add a bow, and you'll see that towards the end of the video. And I'm just arranging this to my liking. I think this project would be beautiful in the traditional fall colors as well. Well, I'm going to show you how I finished this project up. You guys, I absolutely love how this turned out. I think it is very beautiful. I'm not a big fan of the neutral colors when it comes to fall, but if you love those neutral colors, hey, this project is perfect for you. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed today's project as much as I have enjoyed bringing it to you. I absolutely love how that black and white striped ribbon just pulls everything together. You guys, this is something that I don't normally do as far as color schemes, but I want to step outside of the box and try something different. And I want to encourage you to never be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. You never know what you'll be able to create and what you'll like when you step out of the box, out of the norm, and see something different, try something different. Well, as always, my prayer for you is that you continue to stay blessed and healthy in Jesus' name.